Hi, welcome to You Could Do Better, the podcast where we take a look at systems, habits, and ideas that frame our world and figure out how they could, well, do better. I am Sydney Barger. I will be your host today. I am joined by two of my classmates, and today we're going to talk about education, what works, what doesn't work, and how it actually feels to be a student right now.
Looking to have a fun time on campus or a family-friendly place to have fun? Check out the Union Bowling Center. We have the lowest prices in town, only $5 per game and $22 per hour for community members, and $4 per game or $17 per hour for UCM students and employees. That cost includes shoes and tax. There's also convenient and free parking on the corner of Clark and Holden for any member of the public to use. Let the good times roll at the Union Bowling Center. Open from 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. and 4 p.m. to 10 p.m. on weekdays, and from 1 p.m. to 10 p.m. on weekends.
Everyone has a story about school, the good, the bad, the expensive. So let's start today by just introducing ourselves and talking briefly about your college journey, where it began and where you're at now. So I guess I could go first, just naturally. So as I said, I am Sydney Barger. I am currently a senior here at UCM. I started with dual enrollment classes in high school. And then naturally, I just went to the college that gave me those credits for community college. And then I was there for about 3 years before I transferred here to UCM.
My name is Hannah Adams. I'm a junior here at UCM. So my college journey is kind of like Sydney's in a sense. I graduated high school and went straight to community college because I had A+, so it paid for it. It was really nice. Free college. We love it.
Yep.
And then I transferred to UCM because the digital media program is phenomenal and it's pretty close to home.
Awesome.
Hi, I'm Ethan Crandall. My story is a little different from these two. I am from Pennsylvania, and I was never really big on school. I've hated school my entire life. And then I met a girl, and then I just decided to go to college close to her. And that's how I got here. I was a criminal justice major for 2 years. Then I switched, went into communications. And yeah, that's how I got here.
Wow, that's amazing.
That's so fun.
That's truly like a homework story.
Yeah.
And they're like, I'm invested
Make the
now.
movie.
Yeah. So as we've kind of started in the beginning, you kind of explained how your feelings were about school. You didn't really like it. Hannah, how did you feel about school as a kid?
I always loved it. I hated missing school. Like, it was my favorite place. I love to talk. So my friends were always there, and I love to learn and just, like, grow my knowledge about everything.
Well, I don't have to share my opinion because mine is the exact same.
Yeah.
I loved school growing up. I was the nerd. I loved reading all the time. I lived in the library.
Yep,
It was
same.
great. And I always dreamed about college, and then it didn't go anywhere near how I planned. But we're here.
Adds character.
So, yeah, so... What expectations did you have going into college or your major? Like, did you want to do what you're doing right now from the beginning, Hannah?
Yeah, so I kind of made the decision because all throughout high school and honestly just school as a whole, I wanted to be a teacher. And after having several people in my life who are actual teachers and just seeing all about that, I was like, I don't want to do that. And so I was already taking broadcasting classes in high school, and I really enjoyed it. So right before my senior year, I was kind of like, yeah, I want to go into this. Like, I love sports. I love to talk. So I felt like it was the best fit, and I haven't regretted it since. So yeah, going here has been really fun with the digital media program. But at community college, it was only an associate's in arts, so that was kind of boring. But I've always wanted to do digital media since, like, my senior year.
So you explained a bit how you started in criminal justice.
Yeah.
How did you do that jump from there to where you are now?
So, like, growing up my entire life, I just wanted to be a police officer. Had a lot of family in law enforcement and everything like that. And then, like, I was just thinking about it, and I was like, what do I really love? And it's sports. But I was like, I didn't want to make the same mistake I did with criminal justice. I was like, with criminal justice, I put myself into, like, a box. And I didn't want to be a police officer anymore, and I didn't want to do anything else in criminal justice.
Wow.
So that's why I went, like, the communications major and a minor in sports communications.
Okay,
Smart.
smart. Yeah, that was my biggest fear going into college and what made me get my associates in general studies. I was terrified. Everyone always said growing up, oh, when you're in college, you change your major 3, 4, 5 different times,
Yeah.
and that's just normal. And I was like, that's not going to be me.
No.
It won't happen. And so it kind of put me in this box of I am nothing and I'm not specific. And Yeah, the biggest tip that I got to get over that was from my therapist, who said, just take the classes you're interested in and a plan will form from there.
That's true.
And then that's exactly what happened. And now we're here, and it kind of felt magical, and I had no control over it. So life happens. So let's hit our first commercial. I don't know how I'm supposed to introduce this, but I hope Darren has prepared a beautiful commercial for us. So we will be right back. So now that we're back, so now that we've talked about our experiences, let's zoom out a little bit. And what parts of education just don't work for you guys anymore? This could be high school or college, transition to both, transition from one to the next. What are we thinking? What doesn't work? What's broken?
I don't know. I think being forced, like in college, to have to take these gen eds because we already have done that since like kindergarten, taking the math, the science. Like, I'm not saying it's not important, but it comes to a point where you're just like, come on, this is boring. Like, I feel like if we were able to do stuff quicker in our college careers with like our majors and like our interest, I feel like that would just be more engaging because like I feel like when I was at community college, it was literally just a glorified high school, like a nicer building, no fights, and I'm still learning that stuff.
No fights.
Yeah.
You can tell we went to public school.
Yep. Yeah, we did.
Yep. Yeah, high school felt like nobody was focused and nobody cared.
No.
And then when I got to community college, it did just feel like a high school where I was finally given the opportunity to explore a little bit. I had control over what I wanted to do. And I wish I had been able to do that in high school.
Yeah.
That way, when I did hit college, I hit the ground running and I knew what I was doing.
Kind of go off the path a little bit. Kind of on the same topic. One thing that I learned that really doesn't work for me is taking notes. I don't take notes at all. And like when I did, it's almost made me like not pay attention in a way. And now like when I don't take notes, I'm more engaged, I'm listening more,
That's smart.
and like I just do better in my classes.
I've learned, I think mostly in like community college, I'm a very visual learner.
Me too.
And we were actually discussing this in my comm class this morning. He was asking all of us, he was like, none of you are taking notes. I want to know like, why does this work for you? What's going on? Because my teacher, who's older, said that when he was in school and like going through college, they trained him how to take notes. I was like, what do you mean you were trained to take notes? How does that work? And like some of my classmates had mentioned like being trained for like science classes, for chemistry, on how to take notes. And I was like, wow, I wish I had had like a class or something on like the basics of like how to learn or something that would have given me a good foundation. Like that should be something in high school.
Oh, I agree.
That
Even middle
prepares
school.
us to just be a student. Like I feel like everyone just expects us to be ready to learn and we're not given a good foundation.
Absolutely.
Gear up for game day at the UCM store, your one-stop shop for all things mules and jennies. From the latest styles by Nike, Champion, Antigua, and Columbia Sportswear to your fan favorites and exclusive UCM gear, we've got everything you need to show your school spirit in style. And right now, enjoy unbeatable savings during Mascot Madness. But hurry, these deals won't last long. Whether you're heading to the stadium or repping from home, game day starts at the UCM store.
Kind of going off of what we just talked about, we've said what's broken. Let's continue talking about what could actually make school and education better. What's one class or skill that you think should be mandatory? Like as a freshman?
Like in high school or college?
I feel like we've talked a lot about what you can do in high school. Maybe both. Give me, like, is there anything that you think you need to know earlier on to prepare you for freshman year of high school or college? What comes to mind when I ask you?
Honestly, I kind of think about, because Sydney and I were in career readiness together, and I feel like that was a really beneficial class.
Absolutely.
So I feel like doing something like that, because we never really learned how to make resumes in high school. Like it was kind of already something like you should know how to do. And so I feel like a career readiness in like high school, honestly, would just be really beneficial because it shows you, how to do your resume, how to have a proper interview, stuff like that. Because I feel like in high school, that's when you start getting like actual jobs and stuff as well. So you get to learn more about like that professionalism aspect early on.
I've actually always had this opinion. I think public speaking should be mandatory for everyone.
Oh, absolutely.
In high school too, because when I was in high school, so I took public speaking in high school, and the very first assignment in the class was you had to sing in front of the entire class an entire song. And I was like freaking out.
No.
Because I'm like, I
would
what
never.
the heck? So I dressed up in a suit and I sang "I Want It That Way" by the Backstreet Boys.
Yes.
I wish I could see that.
But right after that, like every speech,
You were fine.
You're comfortable.
completely fine,
Yeah.
completely fine. And I took it in college, and like every speech was just like
That's
Wow.
that's a good idea.
I will say, I think the best thing that I've experienced here from a teacher at UCM had to do with public speaking. And it was something that in the beginning I hated. And then about mid-semester, I was like, this is the greatest thing ever.
Yeah.
You're a genius. And looking back, this was last semester, I was like, you're the smartest teacher I've ever seen. And you're doing amazing. One of my teachers at the beginning of every single lesson, he would ask us a question. And it was like, or it could be something like, one day it was like, sing the highest note that you can. And we went around to each person and they had to sing the highest note
we
they
did
could.
that in class. Yeah.
And then the next day it was like the lowest
Yeah.
note that you can. And like the moment of it was so anxious, but it was not just breaking those barriers of public speaking, but also getting you comfortable with the other people in class. Like now that I've bonded with like, what's your favorite animal and like
Yeah.
things like that. And even if he was able to like segue it into what we were discussing in class, it was just the perfect way to bond and just get over your fear of talking to each other.
yeah.
And it was
Absolutely.
the smartest thing I've ever seen. I love answering questions.
Me too.
I think it's like it gets everybody excited and everyone's happy to be there. They feel included. And it was just like, why isn't everybody doing this? It's so simple.
Yeah,
It's a great icebreaker. It's like from kindergarten, but like we're children at heart. Like
Yeah.
that's all we want. We just want to be asked what our favorite animal is.
And I like the public speaking idea because my first ever day of college, so at community college, my first class was an 8 a.m. public speaking class. First day. And the teacher's like, and this is probably like 30 people, and she has all this stuff on the wall. She's like, okay, you need to say your name, your job, all this. And I'm like, this is my first ever day of college, my first class. But then I feel like it was beneficial because we all started to get along and like presentations weren't awkward, you know? And so I feel like those public speaking skills really helped me just outside of school, like even work, like talking to like random people. Like it's fine. I don't get nervous, you know? So that's definitely a very good point.
And it just gives you the confidence.
Definitely.
Too. And confidence is like the most important thing. Like just going out into the world with anything. Yeah.
Beneficial.
Yeah.
So kind of on this topic, do you guys have any ways, like we talked about being visual learners, how can teachers teach differently as like education is changing and as the people we teach are changing, like as students? I feel like we're very kind of different than we used to be. Like, do you think that the way teachers are teaching you is outdated, or is there something new that we could do?
I actually have this one class and this one teacher that we do quizzes, right? And then we take like a group quiz right after the end of the
Yeah.
class.
I
That
have
class.
him. He's amazing.
Yeah.
That's great.
And then you can like appeal that,
Yes.
that
Yeah,
question.
yeah.
And it almost like teaches you and teaches the class more than can just a lecture. And that's what I really like, because then you talk about why it should be this, and then he can either
Prove your
accept
point.
or reject the appeal.
I like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
that class was really fun.
Yeah. On that, I really want more in-class discussions, and I want it to actually happen. I'm tired of it being like, okay, break into your groups and discuss what you guys need to work on, and then everyone sits on their phones.
And you like
For the
partner with people
period.
you already know.
Yeah. So, but I wish it was almost we mix up groups every single
Yeah.
time. That way it's kind of like an icebreaker. You get to know everybody in the class. You're not only breaking down those like public speaking, but it's also like networking. You're getting to know other people in your field that you're going into, and you're learning better. I find the best way that I learn is just discussing it, and I never have time to have like a study session with my friends. So an in-class discussion about it would be incredible, for me at least.
Absolutely.
I think mine, because I'm a big visual learner as well, is like a bunch of hands-on stuff. Like I know some subjects like history, it's kind of hard to do that.
Yeah.
But I like photography class, you know, for example, we take the notes, we learn it, and then we go out and apply it. And I feel like that sticks so well. It's just a bunch of hands-on. Like even in elementary school, like you know how you would count like with like the little chips or whatever, like just makes it more fun.
Thinking about that, because like in history, like what can you do about it? Do
Yeah.
you remember, it might have been middle school, it might have been earlier, after, whatever. Do you remember when they would have like a blown up beach ball and like questions written on it? And if your
Yes.
like thumb landed on the question, that was like
Gotta,
the
like,
question you
answer it.
asked or answered or whatever. Like, I know that sounds so childish, but I would catch
It
the ball.
changes
Like,
it.
I would be so excited for it. And like, I hate that because it's college and it's university, we have to be
So
professional
serious, yeah.
and serious. And like, I don't know, I want to break down like just having to be serious in class, because the best way that we learn is through play.
Because that's how
That's
we've learned our whole
proven.
life.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Thank you for agreeing.
Yep.
Okay, we've kind of covered our improvements. Does anybody else have any other improvements before we move on to our next segment? Just like little things.
I don't know. It just needs to be more fun, I think.
Yeah, bring back play.
How we
Like,
used to learn.
Yeah.
Because like, I feel like a lot of the knowledge
We're
we
a child at
retained, like a lot of the knowledge we retained in like preschool, early elementary school was through play, and we still remember that. Like that clearly did a number on something.
Mm-hmm. The mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell.
It is.
Make
Bill
everything
Nye.
a meme, and we'll remember it forever.
Bill Nye is a science guy.
Yeah. I loved the thing that he did where he
Bill
like came
Nye.
back years later and set the earth on fire.
Yeah.
And he was like, we're all doomed. That was, and I cared because it was Bill Nye.
Science rules.
Yeah. All right, so this is our last segment. You can have more than one if you think of more as we're going, but what is your number one hot take on education right now? I can go first
Yeah.
if you guys are nervous. My biggest hot take is that textbooks, this is conditionally, depending on your major, but textbooks are the stupidest thing in the entire world, and they need to be gone.
And tell us why.
They need to be gone because, so in certain things, I've heard teachers say this to me at the beginning of the semester. This is the same textbook I've used for 4+ years or like more, because the content hasn't changed. It's all old stuff. Okay, then make a slideshow for the chapters and share that with me. Why are you just want me to spend more money? It's just a ploy. It's the stupidest thing
Especially
ever.
for 8-week
And
classes.
then yes, and then like I had at least 2 teachers this semester. I won't rat them out, but they just found articles that covered the content.
Yep.
They found free textbooks that covered the content. And for me, it shows that the teacher is interested enough in the topic that they want to help us out. We're all poor college kids for the most part. Like, help me out. If you're interested and you're showing me articles and you're uploading new stuff to our content, I'm going to read all of that. I'm going to be excited about it too. And it makes me mad when it's like, here's this dusty textbook that nobody's changed.
Like the edges
in
are chewed up
forever.
on.
Yeah, but they're not even giving it to you. They want
No.
you to buy it online. My segue and how I think we can improve it, either get rid of the textbook altogether and find articles or something free that you can give to the students online, or if you're going to use the same textbook for several years, let's have it at the library for students to take out
Yep.
as needed.
I'm not gonna lie, I haven't bought any textbooks.
Exactly.
Year and a half.
Anything that I have bought, I have barely used, or I didn't buy it and I was fine, because how many times have you sat through a lecture day and that teacher spent an entire class period going over the reading? Why would I do the reading if you're going to do the reading
Right.
for me? That's a waste of time. And I'm not that student to not do the reading. Like we talked in the beginning, I love reading. I love all the stuff. I want to do the reading, but nothing is more frustrating to me with my busy schedule than doing the reading because you asked me to, coming to class, and then you spending an entire hour going over what I read. I would rather do the group discussions like we discussed before. I want to sit down with those students. I want to do the quiz and then do a quiz together and dissect it as a group. I don't want to be lectured at. And I know that a lot of teachers do the lecture expecting us to discuss with them, but they're not. They're talking to a wall and they act kind of like it's our fault that we're not answering questions. I can't tell half the time if you're being rhetorical and you want me to answer your question, or if, like, I can't understand what the teacher wants half the time. And I don't think that that's a me problem.
No.
Gonna be honest. I think it's, and I absolutely hate, I guess this is another hot take. I absolutely hate when you can tell a teacher's doing a lecture and the last time they gave the lecture was last semester. I hate it when I go into class.
Because they pause and they're like,
and they're like, I haven't, like, I've had a teacher legit tell me last time I spoke about this was the last time I presented this topic. That's not helping me, and you don't remember the content. I can read your slideshow. It's on Brightspace. I can do all of that. I can do the reading. I can read your slideshow. I don't need you to do either of those things. If it's a 3-day, like if I'm coming to your class Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and we spend Monday doing the reading that I already did, and we spend Wednesday going over the slideshow that I already read and I can read at home, and then we do a project on Friday, that's 2 hours a week wasted, plus whatever I spent at home doing the at-home stuff that you asked me to do to be prepared for class.
Plus work and everything on top of that.
Yeah, like I just want to be efficient, and that's my biggest pet peeve when we're not efficient with class time. Biggest pet peeve.
100%. Tell them.
So now that I'm still very upset, but we can. Ethan, do you have
Hot take.
get angry
I think that homework should be illegal before middle school.
Okay.
before?
That's
yes.
smart, yeah.
And my reasoning is because I think that especially in those years of elementary school and those years, I think that socializing with other people teaches you more than any homework, because at that point, homework is just like busy work, and half the time the parents just do it.
Yeah.
You're in school 8 hours a day,
Yeah.
and you're telling me,
Yeah.
like,
It's pointless because I don't remember any. I'm not gonna lie, I don't remember anything from elementary school really, and
besides the basics.
yeah, the very basics. But then I just relearned the basics in middle school.
That's
And
exactly
then,
right.
Yeah.
I think that the reason I'm bad at math is because they failed me in elementary school.
I agree.
I
I don't
agree.
think it was explained well enough. I remember, like 3rd grade, they did this big like mathathon thing, and the more you did better on the quizzes, you got a sundae, and as you did better with each quiz,
We
you
had those
got
at
another
reading.
item on your sundae.
We did
My
something
Sunday
like
was
that.
so empty, man.
Oh.
And I was like, I just want to be good at math, and no one's helping me be
You're
good
like
at math.
crying when you're
And it's
doing it.
like, that was traumatizing as a child, and it made me hate math. And then I
Yeah.
just quit trying. Like, if somebody had helped, maybe I'd be a mathematician now.
I'm awful at math.
Me
In
too.
algebra, I didn't pass one algebra test in high school, and the only reason I passed is because of the homework.
That's true. Wait, like cushion it. Wait, I like that topic that you brought up, because in 3rd grade, my teacher was awful. Just gonna say that. And I was a very active kid. Like, I was involved in multiple sports. Like, I was busy. Like, and I like to talk, obviously, and that's his whole purpose. So, like, my teacher was just awful, and she would assign us like thick packets every day. So naturally, I would get home at like 4 o'clock, do my homework, eat dinner, do my homework in the car, get done with like soccer practice, and it's like 8 o'clock at this point, do it in the car under the light, take a shower, and it's still not done. And she would like punish us. And she would punish me. She's like, this is ridiculous, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I have soccer. I have to go to bed early. And she was so ridiculous. So that's like 100% right. And like the whole math thing you were saying, I also had her in math, and like for 3rd grade, the only thing we learned about was like time and money, which is very useful. But then I had to like change elementary school, so when I changed schools, I was so behind, and it's the same school district, so that's just kind of insane. She was ridiculous. Not my favorite lady. But no, I think that's a really smart point, because you can like tell like some of the younger generation, they don't know how to socialize. Like, you'll just say, like, they'll go out to you and just look at you, and you like say hi, and then they run away. It's like, okay, what are you guys learning in school? Like, yeah. So I don't know. That's a valid point. I think my hot take is that gen eds should not be required in college, because most of us are not going to school for science, at least in this little group. And you look at like the college dropout rates in the country, and it's like the 1st year, the 2nd year, when you're still doing gen eds. And so I feel like, I don't know, people wouldn't drop out if they were jumping into college and automatically doing the broadcasting, if you're
What
doing
they're
the
interested
nursing.
in.
Yeah, because
Like-
it keeps people more engaged.
I think the biggest thing is knowing your purpose and knowing you're there. And if I'm just there taking a math class, that's
That I'm not gonna use.
motivating me, because I'm not taking anything I'm interested in. And it doesn't work.
No, because I feel like, I don't know, maybe my whole experience of just different, because I went to community college first, but I feel like at my brother's college, because I can't speak for UCM because I didn't start here the 1st year, but they're very good about like involving like your major classes within your gen ed, so you're like, you know, getting engaged. And I don't know if that's how it is here, but
It went pretty well.
Like
I think
that.
it varies on major and stuff like that, but for me, the combination was good.
that's nice. Good balance.
Yeah, good, very good balance.
That's smart. I feel like, I don't know, I wish more colleges would do that, because I have heard other stuff about it. But I guess UCM's good, which is great. But yeah, no, I don't know. I just feel like if we drop the gen eds, like obviously like English is important, history is important, and like math and science to an extent, because we were talking about this, like if you're going to nursing, well then yeah,
Yeah.
But broadcasting, I don't know when I'm going to use this, like, YMX plus B. No offense.
Yeah.
And to kind of go off your point too, like if there's less people dropping out of like these when they're going in for like broadcasting or whatever major they're doing,
Right.
and there's less people dropping out because you don't have to take the gen eds, it just creates more competition,
Yeah.
and then it makes everyone else want to do better to get that job. And
Exactly.
just more competition is just better overall.
And I think if you like drop like the gen eds part of it, people could get done with the degree a lot faster. Like, because that will motivate people. Hey, I only have to go to school for, let's say, like 3 years. That's a lot better than 4, and I'm doing stuff constantly that I want to do. You know, I don't know. It's just something I've always felt very passionate about.
Okay.
It makes me think about how we talked about like in high school being able to like focus a bit more about what you are interested in. And high school kind of feels like that period where you do the gen eds, so you can kind of tell, do I have a skill at this? Do I have an interest in this? And then move forward from there. So it almost feels too young, but I almost wish like freshman, sophomore year
Gives you
could
an
be your gen
interest.
eds. And then you could focus just a little bit more on what you're interested in, because it really bums me out that it didn't feel like until my last year at community college I found what I wanted to do, and it gives me a sense of this behindness, and that like we're in our sports production class and I'm speaking to all of you guys and you got to do broadcasting stuff in high school, and that's incredible. And I didn't really get an opportunity like that.
Right.
And it makes me really sad. So I didn't realize I had such a big interest in sports production until literally August.
Right.
So what, 3 months ago? And now I don't know what to do with myself because I'm like, oh, this wasn't what I was going for, but I really like this. So
I guess I feel very like fortunate with my high school. Like, it's a smaller school district. There is only one high school, but we had like a career and technology center as well. So like people from other schools in the area would come over. So we had like cooking class, auto, like mechanics. Like it was just a really good variety. And then they had a really big like nursing thing. And I just feel very fortunate that we had the stuff we did. Because you probably went to a smaller high school.
yeah.
So I feel like the high school size definitely plays a role in that as well. And like that's not the school's fault to like blame for
Right.
that. But I just feel very fortunate that there was a big variety at my high school, so I was able to like kind of like get a feel, and then like doing the broadcasting stuff, I'm like, oh, this is what I want to do. And like I was kind of able to make up my mind before I went to college, and like, you know, how to change it all.
That makes sense.
Yeah, love it.
I do have a question because you've sparked curiosity. For my little high school, in math in 8th grade, I remember learning how taxes work. Did you guys do that?
No.
We had personal finance for that.
So I took personal finance in high school, but in middle school, we did a whole, like, we stopped y equals mc squared for a period of time. And then we went into, I don't think we were actually doing algebra in middle school. We
did
stopped whatever
pre-algebra.
we were learning. I wasn't paying attention. But we stopped that, and then we did a whole segment on how taxes worked. And we had to choose out, like, a house that we wanted and a car that we wanted.
That's fun.
And, it was fun. I don't remember any of it.
No.
And I now know how to do taxes, but I was like, why were you teaching me that in middle school?
8th grade.
That
right.
should be a high school thing. And it just felt very weird, and like that should be, I think, a class that you are required to take in high school. Everyone should know at least the basics of how to do taxes and how that works. Also, we should have been explained how to do FAFSA in high school. Like that.
Also, something simple too, how to write a check.
Yep.
Or something like we did that in 8th grade.
Yeah, I
in
didn't
that
get any of
in
that.
I
that
didn't
class where
either.
we did our taxes, we got check writing. And I remember that.
Yeah.
That I did retain, but like doing my taxes, I was like, what is going on?
Also,
I'm 14.
Right, at 14, like who's writing a check? No, that's a really good point, because in high school we had to take personal finance either a junior or senior year. So before I signed up for classes, I was like, let's just do it junior, get it over with. So I feel like, I don't know, like even maybe something like that in college again would be really useful, because when I took personal finance was my first semester of junior year. So it was like the year that, like the semester we came back from COVID, and I had it every other day. And like, bless my teacher's heart, she obviously did great. But I don't know, like it just kind of like went away because that class, I was there only twice a week.
Yeah.
It's a beneficial class for sure, but I don't remember any of it.
So talking about like classes in high school, I feel like junior year is the true year where like you grind it out. That's the hard stuff. You get all of that done. And then senior year is like your
Chill.
lax year. It's so chill.
Yeah.
And like I took like walking fitness. Like we were just screwing around senior year. I was
Senior is
just
so
walking
fun.
laps around the high school just because that was a credit, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I think that we should do kind of like a practicum experience
Yeah.
where maybe we even like we had like a teacher who managed the classes like as like an additional thing, and it's maybe the student researches a topic that they have a lot of interest in, and like it would have to be broad type of assignments, but like share what you found in a discussion board this week on your topic, or like write a research brief over like, and then you could go into literally anything that you have an interest in. That way you could explore that route, and if you find out you don't like it, you know earlier on than like deciding that that's your major.
Yeah, because in high school we had like internships, but it was only for the medical people.
Did?
Yeah, they could go to the local hospital every
Mm-hmm.
day, and they would spend, and it was like an English credit too. Like it was really cool, but it was only for nursing. Like we didn't get any of that.
We had like a child care version of that.
That's cool. I wish we had that.
Yeah, I got to go hang out like at a preschool for a day,
Aw.
and I thought about it so hard, and then the kid told me his dad just got out of prison, and I was like, I don't think this is for me.
I wouldn't know
Because
how
I
to
was like, how do
respond.
I support this
Yeah.
child right now?
I'm sorry.
So, but
like-
high school is just a wild time. They just take
Definitely
you
is.
on trips just anywhere and everywhere and expect you to know nothing and know everything about yourself at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, I'm barely a person.
There was
Thank
this
you.
one class I took. I forgot what class it was, not gonna lie, but we had to do like every student in the class had to do like 3 job shadows, and you can pick any job you want. So I did like a
cool.
job shadow with
cool.
like my neighbor was the middle school gym teacher, so I did one with
Oh,
that.
that's cool.
And I did one with the school resource officer, and he took like 3 of the students out on a ride along, and like we went to the court. We watched like a live
Wow.
like court session, and then he bought us McDonald's after.
That's
But,
so
That's
cool.
awesome.
But no, like, I think more classes like that where you get to explore
Like a career
more-
readiness.
Yeah, like a career readiness in high school is what we need.
Because I took a career readiness class. It was called like Career Expo in like 8th
In high
grade.
school. Oh, okay.
In middle school. That was really fun because we would like research jobs and like do pros and cons. Like I feel like that was actually beneficial. Like I remember that class like very, very clearly. We had like a career day.
So we're petitioning for more career readiness
Yes.
classes in high school.
'Cause we
That's our
have-
biggest take from today. That's
Career
what you can do
readiness.
better.
Because some people are lost, and that's okay. Some people just need more guidance, and that's
Or it's
okay.
just it's scary to make a decision
Yes.
because you don't want to put yourself in a box. You want to find something that's more broad.
Especially being like 18, I feel like that's kind of young. Like
Yeah.
some people know off the bat what they want to be, but then some people kind of like, I don't know. I feel like we talked a lot in our career readiness class. Our teacher was very great about just saying like, we were just like, hey, like we don't know what to do, and he was like, just find something and then just like keep going and like see if you like it. Like just a great support system. So the classes are really beneficial.
We did it.
Word.
Okay. So, are we ready to wrap up?
Yeah.
We feel
Yeah.
good about everything. No
Yeah.
more hot takes.
No.
We're
No.
chill now.
We're calm.
Yeah.
We're calm. Okay, we got it out of our system. So that's it for this episode of You Could Do Better. Big thanks to both of you for your opinions today. I
Thank
think
you.
we got
Thank
a
you.
good discussion on, education and everything. And I'm glad that you guys I hope you were honest about your journeys. I
Definitely.
trust both of you.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll be back not next week. We'll be back
In a while.
later this
Sometime.
month.
Yeah.
With more hot takes, more opinions on just the way the world works. So thank you for joining us today.
Thank you guys.